Hey guys,
Hey,
welcome for episode number 2 on
number
Quarter
two,
Scale. Today
Deuce.
we got Mr. Holloway on board. Got a damn good show tonight, Todd. I think we got
I
the guys out of
saw that.
Washington
Yeah,
with
how
the
about that?
QSR. Let's see if I can get this up and running here. QSR Quarter Scale Racing of Northwest.
Yep,
I believe it's Brian Lambert and Jason Brinkley, if I
yes,
remember right.
yep. B Lamb is what he goes by on Facebook, and Jason Brinkley. Yes.
Yep. So they'll be on here in a little bit. We're going to do some. Let's see. Oh, come on, get off that. There we go. So, any news in the court while we're waiting for them to come on? Any news in since we last time we spoke about a month ago? We had Brian Howard
Uh,
on.
well, there's starting to be some tracks that's having races, so the weather's kind of looking up, starting to warm up in places. I've got some race results here from several different tracks. We've been working on our track over at Ingles. We got the since we got the nationals this year, we wanted to make sure we got the wall done and replaced. The wall's been there since 2005, and I know I've hit it a lot of times, and I know other people have too. And I tell you what, it's lasted. It stood. It's did what it has done what it's supposed to anyway for since 19 or 2005. So we ripped it all down, put new wood up, new braces up, and then we covered that with about 5/8 thick plastic. They put it in semis. It's like a skid rail in semis to keep from damaging stuff. So
Very
we've got
familiar with
12
that.
inches of we got 12 inches of that goes all the way around the track. And man, I've got to thank all the guys that stepped up and helped. Paul Covington and Brian Howard and I'll probably end up forgetting it, people, but Scott Rance and Chris Stump. We had Dustin show up, Dustin Leach. We had a lot of people show up that really spent some time and helped us get that track back together. Um, Drew Craig, he drove a long distance to come 2 or 3 times now. So we had a good turnout of people. Actually, last race we had let's see. I knew I shouldn't have started saying names because I knew I'd forget one, but I'll think of it here in a minute. But he's raced with us a long time, and he came and drove a couple hours. He came and helped us.
Takes a village to run a racetrack, don't it?
Oh, it does. Yeah, it's a lot of work.
So,
It's a
are
lot of
your
work.
walls up against the track, or is it like a couple of feet run off and then the wall?
No, it's up against the track. It's right
Oh,
up against the surface. Now, years ago, we had a runoff in the back straightaway of about 2.5 feet. It was grass, then it turned to dirt. We ended up cementing that at one time, but now it's all been paved. So there's not any grass or cement or anything around the track. It's right up against the track surface itself,
mhm.
and it works out. It works out really well. Dave Hamstra. Why could I not remember Dave Hamstra? Dave came and he probably wondered what he got into because you know how Paul and I and Chris Stump are and Scott Rance when we all get going. Well, then you add Brian Howard to the mix, and
Mhm.
I'm sure Dave was wondering what the heck he got himself into, but we had a good time.
So, how many local guys race at Eagles? And I mean, just on a local club schedule.
Used to, it was, like a lot of clubs, it was a lot bigger than it is there now. But I think this year we kind of see a rebuilding going on. Um, if the number of guys that just came out to help, if those guys come, we're going to have a good turnout. But I
Mhm.
would say we're going to end up with. I bet you before the end of the year we'll be back into having 20 people or 20 entries
Yep. Yep.
per race is the plan. We hope that works out. Um, but I remember back in the '90s, there was times where we'd have 3 or 4 guys, that show up, and you probably have had that too, where
Oh
you
yeah.
came off the driver's stand, you went and turn marshaled
Yep.
your own car.
Yep.
But then we had a growth period there where we had over 40 members, just in our local club. And they're seeing that growth at other tracks now. So we've
You
got to
guys,
do our part to get it going again.
are you guys thinking of what the gas prices will be like? Is it going to cut down on traveling maybe across the country, at least for the dirt nationals and a lot of different racetracks across the country? Have you heard any say,
You
I
know,
can't make it this year, gas prices are too high, da 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 da
no,
da?
I think we're too far out right now to be worried about that. We do have some traveling races coming up. We've got the Cheese City race for
Yep.
dirt that's coming up. We've got tri-state races coming up. These other clubs have got the same thing going on. It's not going to help, but let's hope and pray that before it goes much longer, that it works out for everybody, and the war ends, the prices come back down, and
Sure.
um,
Yep.
we hope it was for a good cause. Let's put it that way.
So what's you got some rundown on some finishes across the
Yeah,
country, different
yeah.
places?
I'll start out here with ERC, which is Easley, South Carolina.
Okay.
They ran this past weekend, I believe it was. They had sportsmen and super trucks. Stephen Cross was first place in sportsman. Second place was Barry Henry. Third place, David Burnett. Super trucks was Eric Hayden. Larry Moore was second, and Daniel Burnett was third in the trucks. And that's one place that I've not been to, so I want to get to Easley and run sometime. Yeah, they say it's about the perfect size track for quarter scale.
Let me ask you a question. Where is the Worlds being held? Because I had a couple guys ask me about that, and I think it's down in Hueytown, Alabama. Somewhere, ain't it?
Yeah, it's down there. It's a go-kart track. SCAD, I think it's called.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and they've ran there for quite a while, off and on. They
Mhm.
used to do special races there and that kind of stuff, and I think they kind of consider that their home track, and that's where the Worlds is going to be.
That's in June, I believe.
Yeah, I really would have liked to went to it, but it ended up being on one of our tri-state events, and we had the tri-state series kind of set as far as the schedule.
Hmm.
So it's not going to work out, I don't think, this time, unless we can move some stuff around. That's yet to be seen. But yeah, that'd be a nice event to go to.
Any other finishes?
Yep, we switch over to Lagoon Park Raceway. They had limited sportsmen Sean Deal, I think is how you pronounce it, Jimmy Hudson, and Ben Moore. Super trucks was Old Puddin. You know who Puddin is,
Who?
don't you?
Puddin.
Puddin, yeah. Jerry Evans.
Oh, Jerry
Old
Evans.
Puddin. Yeah, Old Puddin.
Okay.
He won
Yeah.
the race, followed by Tim Smith and Randy Chandler. Sportsman was Jerry Evans, Randy Chandler, and Mike Mangus. And I'm going to go ahead. They listed 4 other classes here that is basically like 10 scale or low C's. And I'm going to give those guys a little shout out too, because some of these guys here might be some of the next quarter scale guys, So
Sure.
they had the 17.5 pan car. David Sawyer won that. Danny Smith was second. Will Blevins was third. The 8.0 breakout class in the truck was won by David Sawyer. Zach McDaniel was second. Mike Mangus was third. Then they had a low C NASCAR mod, and that was won by Alan Rich. Will Blevins was second. Jimmy Hudson was third. Then they had your low C NASCAR stock, which is Will Blevins first, Alan Rich second, and Mike Mangus was third.
Sure. Yep.
Mike is doing a little bit of quarter scale racing and the 10 scale racing. So it kind of shows you that those will kind of work together, and hopefully that will bring back up some of the quarter scale numbers. I know that's the one thing that we're hoping that it's worked for McChesney Park. It's worked for Lansing, Michigan. The 10th scale program has really elevated the quarter scale stuff there. So, hats off to those guys, and hopefully we can do the same. Next up was Mountain Valley in Martinsville, Virginia. ECM was won by Frankie Everhart. Second place was Billy Mayo. Third place was Ricky Marlowe. Limited Sportsman was won by Jeff Dunn. Second place was Sawyer Frankie Everhart, which I don't know if you've seen their podcast they did the other day with
No.
Charlie Agnew. They interviewed Frankie and his son Sawyer.
Oh, that's been a while ago, hasn't it? About a
Yeah,
month
and,
ago or so. Yeah. I remember watching that.
Matter of fact, it was a great show.
Yeah.
Then they reached out to me, and I did some vinyl for it and sent it to them, and they took some great pictures, and it looks like both of them ran really well. Sawyer came home second. This is his second full year. Jerry Goodbay was third in that race. Grand National was Frankie Everhart, Billy Mayo, and Kevin Andrews. And from what I understand, old Frankie had to run as hard as Frankie's ran in a lot of years, he said, to outrun Billy Mayo that day. So listening to it, it sounded like it was a pretty good race. And so I'm sure Billy was right there and putting the pressure on him. Third place was Kevin Andrews. In Sportsman, you have J.R. Early. Then second place, Jerry Early Sr. and Adam Lawrence was third. Super Trucks was Frankie Everhart, Jimmy Early, and Billy Mayo came home third in the Super Trucks. The other track results that I found was from Dallas-Fort Worth, DFW.
Oh, boy, they've been running strong, haven't they?
Yeah, these tracks with the nice weather, I'm a little jealous of them. But anyway, their truck class, Blake Babbitt won it. Carl Reese was, or Uncle Carl, sometimes we call him, was second. Brian Hill was third. Roy Scanlon was fourth. All those guys were all on the lead lap in the truck class. And Scott Babbitt ended up fifth in the truck race. Sportsman race, we had Brian Hill, and I believe he's running his new RMR chassis. And he's been having some really good luck with that car. Brian Hill won it. Roy Scanlon was second, which was a strong run for Roy. He ended up on the lead lap. Looks like very close to him. Kenny Perry was third place. Mike Hurley was fourth. Tim Boucher, I think that's how you pronounce it, was fifth. Mike Hinton was sixth, followed by Royce Ayuso. I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but if anyone knows, you can let me know. But that was Sportsman. The top four all finished on the lead lap.
What happened to Sadler? Usually he's
in between, moving between Iowa and Texas.
He's moving to Iowa?
Yes. And that's where he was born and raised.
I knew that. I didn't know that he must retired from UPS or something.
Yeah, he did that several years ago.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah. So things have worked out now where him and his wife are moving back to Iowa, and they're kind of in between right now, going back and forth.
Okay. Well, I hope I see him up here on some dirt races since he's a little closer.
Well, he won't have any excuse.
No excuse.
Yeah, I'm sure he will, but it won't be a legitimate excuse.
At least for the Nationals of anything.
Our eyes, right?
You
I'm
know.
sure I'm going to run into him in McChesney Park some.
Yeah.
Because I know he's going to
maybe
be
that's
close.
where he'll be racing.
Yeah, I think he's only going to be about 3 hours from there. So I look forward to racing with Mike there. We've raced together a long time. Matter of fact, the first time I ever raced with him, he yelled at me. And the last time I ever raced with him, I got yelled at.
Yeah, he yelled at me too. First time I raced with him up in Iowa.
I might have started yelling first, but not the first time. But the second time,
and I deserved it because I ran right in the. He was actually between you and him. Was my first actual national event that I ever attended. And when you're running against local guys, you know their mindset, you know how to push and how not to push.
Right.
Well, I was racing against everybody that was a little different, and I was struggling, and he helped me with my radio and a couple other things. And the car just was fabulous. And I come down out of turn one, and I mean, I jumped right on his ass. Well, he braked a little quicker than I did. So I caught him with the sprint car, and over he went, and he wasn't happy.
Well, see, that's how him and I met. He Did the same thing. Stopped in front of me at Freddie's track. Him and I'll debate it until we're dead and gone. But
Whose fault it is?
I heard yellow. He heard red. So
I heard green. That means go.
He heard red. I heard yellow. So he stopped and I didn't. The only thing I remember, he had a beautiful chrome painted tail tank that was in about 25 pieces on the track, and his introduction was basically wide open, and we still laugh about it today. But anyway, that's why Mike's not on here anywhere. So going to Grand National at DFW, we had Curtis Babbitt winning that. Gerald Babbitt was second. Blake Babbitt was third. Wayne Babbitt was fourth. All three of those guys were running LT3s. Scott Babbitt ended up fifth.
Any more Babbitts? I mean...
Chris Bethany was sixth. Geraldine was seventh, and Gerald Cups was eighth.
Yeah.
Top four guys all ended up on 75 laps. They got down in the 6.0s that race, so the track came in pretty quick. It sounded like for the season.
That's very good.
Then we'll slip over to the sprint cars. We have Kenny Perry ended up winning it. He almost got down in the fives, but Kenny Perry won it. Mike Watkins, which has got the strongest sprint car, I told him, that I've ever seen in my life.
Probably got lock washers in it.
Oh, that. I tell you what, it's a stout car because it took a couple hits that I don't know. The driver wouldn't have came back. I know that, but Mike came back and ran good at the Nationals. But Mike Watkins was second, and Roy Scanlon came home in third in that race. So Mike's really starting to run a lot of different Roy's starting to run a lot of different classes, and always has his stuff ready. So I know he's excited. But that's all the results I've got. Okay. These are just ones that I went on Facebook and looked up.
Well, guys, share your results to us, so we give Todd something to talk about.
Yeah, if you guys could get those to me.
Yeah, your points leaders and who's leading the points, and because I know points will be starting to show up here.
Oh yeah, send it to me. Yeah, reach out to me. It'd be nice if it all went to one place. If you guys could just send it to Todd at teamholloway.com.
Yep.
If you could send it there, I can get it, put it together for our next show, and kind of have our points run down and that kind of stuff. Other tracks are starting to run. I know Lansing, I believe, has already had one practice, or it's coming up. We ended up, after we worked 8 hours on the track Saturday, it was supposed to be.
I saw a video of it. Yeah.
The track, man, for April was so fast. I mean, the sprint cars, we got down in the 5.6s and 5.7s. I think a 5.58 might be the fastest we've ever been with a sprint car. So it was close to that times. The sportsman cars, we were all running 5.8s and 9s. Every one of us that was running. So that track, and it doesn't wear tires. It's just, the grip's unbelievable. But anyway, those we started practicing. I know some of the other guys have started practicing at their tracks, and there could have been some other races. So like we said, send me some info at Todd at teamholloway.com, and I'll make sure that we get your name out there and get you some TV time.
Well, we're starting our open house Sunday, just for 3 hours, making sure everything works and the guys come out. And then our first race, our official race, is first Saturday in May. So we're getting real close there too. So, but guys, hey, I noticed. Let's get on chats real quick and see who's all on. The Brian guy with his job. That's going to be our guest tonight, Jason and Brian.
Yep.
Hello, gentlemen from the wet state of Michigan.
Yeah, they've been getting some weather up there.
We haven't had any rain. I mean, we had fires left and right out here.
How you doing, Len?
Dennis Stevens is on. He's raced fifth scales, and his son raced some quarter scales. I won the nationals that one year. Brandon.
I hope to see him again this year.
Dirt nationals. There's Chuck Burnley. You know Chuck.
Oh yeah.
Tell Todd he needs to put on pasties if he wants to get better ratings.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't see anything. I
Scott
just need to
Rance?
fix this right here. This little
Well, I just figured
thing.
out why you're getting that, and I'll
Why?
talk to you later off
Okay.
screen. I just dawned on me when you're running through the scale. I'm looking at you, I'm looking at it, and I think I figured it out.
All right. Good.
Scott Rance, hey guys.
Hey, Scott.
Brian Howard, our co-chair. Howdy everyone.
How's it going, Brian?
Scott says, Todd, the background looks better.
Thanks.
A lot better than last time.
It is better than last time. We're getting there.
Good, thank you. Well, anyway, guys, we've got Brian and Jason on. They are with Quarter Scale Racing in Northwest. We're going to be having some pictures and stuff, and we'll pick their brains a little bit out west and see what's going in that direction. Let me see if we can get them on here. Oh, come on. Stop it. We'll get them on here. There they are.
There they are.
We're here.
I'm glad you guys show up. Introduce yourself and we'll get on with it.
You first.
Okay. Well, I'm Brian Lambert.
Okay.
I'm one of the guys that got the QSR Northwest going.
And I'm Jason Brinkley. I'm one of the three of us. Craig was
Yeah,
not here
that's
tonight.
Yeah.
Well, glad you guys come on. Tell me a little bit about your organization so everybody knows a little bit about it.
Go for it.
Well, we all used to race quarter scales, and this would go back to like early 2000s. Steve Pfister built the track out there, and that's where we've raced from like 2003 to 2009. We all kind of separated. I had another kid, it just whatever. I went into the world of hockey for 10 years. Now I'm just re-emerging back to racing. So
Life happens.
Life happened.
Yep.
While we were gone, the club disintegrated, which is whatever. I don't know exactly. None of us really know what happened. We just know it wasn't pretty. And then about 3 years ago, a good friend of ours, Jason Walters, started racing 10 scale slashes out there with late model bodies. And we were like, well, that's cool. And we kind of all sucked in slowly. And it took us a couple of years. And then we just really started missing the smell of fuel. So we got together and we were going to try to get something going. We really didn't have an idea of what it was going to turn into. It was about 5 of us. And we planned on maybe going to Boulder or to Colorado to race. And just using our track as practice while we built up with these 10 scale guys. And then as word got out, people started buying cars, and then more word got out and more people bought cars. And I think we list 20 drivers on our roster right now, and there's at least 18 cars within our realm, I guess, our region. So apparently a lot more people miss the smell of BP fuel.
Yeah. I know a lot of the names out there, that are, if I sit back and think and remember, names that I've seen or I've raced with somewhere or another. And it's so cool to see that area coming back. It's just been amazing that you guys went from basically nothing like this time last year or the year before to now you guys are going to be one of the largest clubs out there, at least the top 5 for sure.
Yeah. Well, our first practice race didn't show that yet. We had 6, but I've already got some messages on people going, "Hey, what happened to the hype?" But hey, look up the QSAC roster. We have the most licenses.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Sure.
I've been told that by Brian Howard. But the history of our track. So to expand a little bit, because a lot of people don't know the story, we started out racing in a parking lot, and what happened was the guy that owns the land where the track is now, he used to come into my dad's hobby store, and he was like a helicopter airplane guy. And then he saw the quarter scales out where we were racing them. So he comes over to my house one day and wants to check out these quarter scales. And I did a little presentation for him, and he saw them racing in the parking lot, him and his wife. So he leaves my house. He comes back like 5 minutes later, knocks on the door. He's like, "I got to have one of these." And so once he got one, he comes out, races with us in the parking lot, and then so I'm a school bus driver, so I'm off in the summertime. So he calls me up one summer and he says, "Hey, what are you up to?" And I said, "Nothing." He goes, "You want to go to Vegas?" Well, he meant Boulder. And so he says, "Well, grab your car and your radio and your toolbox and meet me at the hangar," because he's a crop duster by profession. So he also happened to have a Cessna plane there. So I show up out there. He's literally ripping the back seats out of his Cessna to put his quarter scale and my quarter scale in the back. And then we fly down to Boulder because they
Oh,
were doing some
wow.
night thing. So we're checking out the track, taking pictures, measurements, seeing, how did they construct it, the wall, pit lane, fencing, all of it. And we come back and he calls up the asphalt company and the rest is history. And that
Oh,
was back
wow.
in 2003. So, same asphalt. So it's weathered and aged and got a lot of cracks and I think you guys saw the pictures that we did recently. We put lipstick on a pig and did some
Oh,
paint out there.
it looks real nice. It looks
Yeah.
Yeah,
very
no,
nice.
I got
It
some.
looks
I got some pictures of I'm hoping this is. I snooped around and trolled on your Facebook page to get some
Yeah.
pictures to show
So that's
everybody.
how the track came to be.
What classes do you run out there?
So we're doing trucks, and I know
That
that's a thing. I've had a lot of
Yep.
people ask me questions, why only one class? That's the biggest question that we get,
Hmm.
and I've explained it. Our philosophy is that we would like to build up a class before we branch off to another
Yeah.
class. Because I
Yeah.
look around the country also at results, and I see these places that have like 5 cars in one class, 4 in another, 6 in another, and I'm like, what? What? It's just, to us, it's more fun to have a B main
Yeah,
and have a
exactly.
big field of a big
Well, it
field. And we
really
did the
gauge how
trucks.
good you are. I mean, when you're
Mhm.
racing against, let's say, 12 cars versus 4 cars, because somebody said, "Well, what place you get?" I got fourth, but I was
Yes.
last.
right.
Sounds
Yeah.
And
impressive.
And
it makes you a better driver as well because
we
you
picked the trucks. We
fight
picked
for
the
it.
trucks because if and when some of us go out of town, say, like some of us are going to go to Boulder, uh, all you have to do if we wanted to split up then, so we weren't all piled in the same class, is just slap a car body on it and you got a GN.
Right.
Hmm.
So
Exactly.
that's why we chose the trucks.
Right.
How far are you from Boulder then? I mean, is that quite a drive for you guys up in Washington then?
It's about 13 hours.
13 hours.
13 hours, you're moving pretty good with the trailer behind you.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
kind of about the distance from us to Dallas Fort Worth was about 12. So it took us,
Right.
well, we could have made it in one day, but we just decided to drive so many miles and stop and spend the night at
Yeah.
a truck stop somewhere.
I know
Right.
when we leave Indiana here and we go to Texas, it's about 16 hours, and go to your track, it's about 12, 11 or 12. I know we looked it up the other day about coming to your guys'
Yes.
track, and
Yeah.
it take a solid 24-hour drive at least, to
But I'll tell you what, is nothing like any track you've ever driven on. So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
Little
We'll be
different.
there.
it's
We'll be out there sometime.
it's
Don't worry.
very, very high banked and very fast.
Yeah, hopefully
Uh,
you guys put in for nationals one of these days, and because it's just one of those things. I want to go to Boulder. I've never been to Boulder, and I've been in the hobby
Fun
since
track as well.
1992. I've never been there. I've never been out to you guys'
Boulder's a
track.
big track, Todd. You don't want to hit that
Uh,
wall either.
No,
No,
Yeah,
you do not.
yeah.
We
that's so I told you earlier that our track was basically built the same. Our walls
Mhm.
are the same as theirs. Literally how it was designed and built. But there's one difference. Because we live in a big agriculture area and the track owner at the time was, the crop duster, so he's buddies with all the farmers around there, and farmer called him up one day and said, "Hey man, I got all this potato belt. You want to do something with it or have it?" So we actually made a soft wall
Cool.
around our concrete wall. So Mike's right. You hit the wall in Vegas,
Yeah,
that's
Oh, yeah.
concrete.
yeah,
But you hit our
yeah.
wall and we at least have a little soft wall.
Right,
Um,
right.
yeah, we went to Vegas just while we were actually went to a NASCAR race. They just happened to have a race in Boulder. So me and Kim drove over there. I saw the track on pictures, but never in
Right.
person. And I thought, holy moly, look at this track. This thing's huge.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then they let me walk the track, and it's smooth. Not a lot of banking, compared to some
Right.
tracks I've been to, but that wall is a solid
Yeah.
concrete wall.
Yeah.
But it's so wide that if you did lose it, you should be able to come out of it a little bit.
Right.
So yeah, it was a tremendous.
Well, I promise that when the people from Ingalls, we've got the racers that we have there, they travel. I mean, it's a great traveling club. And we've already been talking about ways that we can, either ship some stuff out there and fly. They keep telling me I'm retired. I can take a trailer out there.
You got all this time, Todd.
Oh, yeah.
You're the mule,
That's what
Todd.
they keep telling me all the time.
Yeah.
You're the mule.
Yeah, they're going to meet us out there, meet me out there. But I'm serious. We will be out there and run, and we will make it to Boulder. And
how would you ship all this stuff then?
I wouldn't.
I mean,
ship
you'd
all
have
of
to
it.
be really choosy of what you're shipping.
You just need a car, 4 tires, a radio, a bottle of oil fire, and some gasoline. That's all you need.
Not in that order.
Not necessarily in that order, right?
Not in that order.
Well, before we get into photographs, let's see who else is on real quick. Let's see. Thanks for the shout out, Todd. Randy Chandler. Wow. I've heard of the name. Who's Randy Chandler? Where's he from?
Not one of our guys.
I don't think he's one of ours. It sounds familiar, though.
Yeah, so right on the tip of my tongue again. You would ask me.
Well, you're the godfather of quarter scale.
Randy ran out of Alabama.
Alabama.
Park.
Okay. Maybe that's where I heard that name.
Yeah.
Here's a question from one of our guests. What do you attribute your great turnout to? That's awesome to see so much growth. So, yeah, what is your tribute to your great turnout? I mean, what made it come back like you?
Well, we definitely didn't expect it. That's for sure.
Yeah, we weren't even planning on racing this year, so we have really no idea. I was just surprised. I mean, and I think you guys know Chance Overholt because he raced back there.
Yep.
We raced. We went back east one year and raced, and to Minnesota.
I suspect there's a group. There is a group, like Jason said. I when we got out of it, I don't know what transpired after and how things went south and disintegrated. But before that, I think there's still a lot of guys around that had good memories of back then. I would suspect that probably is a tribute to it. And but we have some new guys too.
There was a guy that I used to sell parts to when I had my business with Willman Enterprises, or WRP, but he's from Washington, but I cannot think what his name was. And he'd call me, and we talked for an hour, just talking about racing up in the Washington area, but I cannot think of what his name is anymore.
Brent May.
Who?
Brent May.
No.
Perhaps.
Say Bob Knox, but he was an
Or
But he liked to talk racing, and he'd order a $10 part, but we'll talk for an hour.
Right. that sounds like our guys. That's kind of how we are.
Yeah.
And that's good. I mean, that's good. That's great.
So did you guys start out with did you have your old cars from back then and to racing today? Or did you go sold everything and then reordered everything?
No, all new stuff.
Yeah, they got all new stuff. I actually had an Al Capone vault moment where I had a tub, like a big 70-gallon tub that I opened up of my quarter scale stuff.
Uh-huh.
And I probably have, just stuff. And there was one lightning frame in there and probably parts to build 3 cars and stuff. But it's just all, when I put it away, I tore it apart and just threw it on this tub and put it away. So going through it and stuff took a long time. It was interesting. I mean, just motors and just random stuff, but all that stuff is from 2005, 2006, 2007.
So you guys quit. What year did you quit then?
Like 2009 was my last year, I believe.
And then you're back up this year.
And then
what was the number one thing you saw in changes from 2009 to today that just go, wow, I didn't know, that's impressive, or I like that change?
Well, I don't know. I know the obvious ones that we noticed was no more corner marshals, because we have old pictures from back in the day of guys standing down in the infield.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then no more green flag pit stops.
Right.
Yeah.
Those were like a couple obvious ones that stood out.
When I got out of quarter scale racing and went into go-kart racing, and that's a whole different story. And then I came back, and one thing that I was really impressed by was there's no more radio clips.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That to me, to me that was impressive, and you got to run an A and B type transponder, because before it was all hand scoring, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's
Yeah,
see
we
here.
did a lot of hand scoring.
Randy Chandler says LPR at Alabama.
Yep.
Shats.
Chats.
Terry Baker. This is cool to see you guys on there. You guys know Terry Baker?
Yeah, he's one of ours.
He's one of ours.
He's one of you guys'? Okay.
Yeah.
And here's another question from a guy. It says, how big is the track? Is it bigger than Boulder? Is it big as Boulder?
No, so Boulder's like 600 foot run line, maybe. It's really big, and as you said earlier, it's pretty flat, very little banking. Our track is about a 350 foot run line, but it's a tri-oval, and it's very banked. So the lowest banking on the track is like 7 degrees, and through the fastest part of our track, which we call the dog leg, is gets up to 12 degrees of banking. So if you're standing down inside the track, if you look out towards the backstretch where the dog leg is, the wall is taller than your head.
Yeah, you can't see outside of the infield.
Yeah, you can't see outside. You feel like you're down in a bowl.
So the tri-oval is actually in the backstretch, sort of?
Yeah.
Yep.
Kind of like
Kind of like my track. It's more tri-oval in the back. And I did that because I can't see.
It's shaped a lot like Lansing, Michigan, as far as the way it's shaped.
Right.
I think the banking is probably more at your track, and probably turn one is a pretty tight turn getting into Lansing, where yours looks like it's a little more gradual.
Yeah.
And probably the same way with turn 4.
Well, let's do some photographs real quick.
Yeah, our tight corner is what we refer to as the west
track
turn.
we're talking about then?
Yep.
Right. Okay. And the right would be turn 1, and then the back side is the dog leg, and then we call it the west turn because we have a big car track that's shaped exactly the same as this in West Richland. The Cars Tour West just raced this last weekend there.
Why do I thought Washington had a ton of trees. I don't see a tree there.
Yeah, well, we live in the part of Washington we live in is southeastern Washington, which is basically a lot of farmland.
Okay.
And the agriculture area. So it's
you know, when people a desert.
Yes, because people think of Washington, right? To think of Seattle, trees, rain.
Yep.
Right.
Rain,
not where we live. We don't get a lot of rain, and we get hot summers. So in our summers, it's not uncommon to see 110, 100-degree weather.
And when you look at this track's blacktop, I mean, I see Lansing, Michigan so much because their track has been around, for quite a while too, and they've never repaved it. And it's your track looks like it's a pretty coarse rock, not abrasive really, but it's a coarser type of rock. And with the patches and everything, it looks a lot like Lansing's surface.
Yeah.
Yes, I would agree that that's what it is.
Is it lighted?
It is fully lighted
for night racing.
Yes.
And what kind of scoring system do you guys have on that?
Just a MyLap system, and we run RC Scoring Pro.
Okay.
Was the poison?
We do, and all of our racing is done at night. There's a picture from our practice race a couple weeks ago, and that was the surprise I got from the flagman. He decided, he got fully invested, and he was.
Well, that does look banked on it.
And then if you see behind him there, behind him, we backfilled that corner because it used to drop off the backside, and so we had the idea to backfill that corner, put a fence up, and it's like a perfect spot for lawn chairs and spectators.
Right.
So the guy that owns it, is he still active with the track one way or another, or is he just kind of lets you guys do what you want to with it?
He's retired, and actually his son owns the business, which you can see the hangars down below in that photo. And his house is exactly the opposite direction, so we're kind of right in the middle of his life. So he has quarter scales still. He'll probably race with us at some point this year, but he's not active, I guess is the best way to put it, anymore. But him and his dad were very active when it first went up.
Yep.
And his dad's retired and usually isn't in town that much anymore. But I imagine he'll come out and at least watch us race, if not participate.
Yep.
Speaking of your truck classes, here's a photograph that I got. I'm trying to tell you whose truck
no.
is that.
Oh, wait.
That's Wade's truck.
That's one of the Oregon guys.
Okay. They come down and race to Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does Oregon have a lot of people in there?
Well, they had a little bit of guys in the 10 scale, and that's where Wade came from. And when we decided that we were going to do the quarter scales, he did. I guess they call it FOMO. So
He jumped in.
he didn't want to miss out. So yeah, they
Yeah.
got one.
And the next one here.
That truck has yet to hit the track. That shows scales. He put that together. That's actually my Lightning frame and parts. He just
What's
started
the
putting stuff.
majority of chassis out there that you guys run then?
It's pretty well divided, actually. When we first started a long time ago, it was almost all Lightning with some WCM. Now we're going to have a couple of WCM because, like, Chris Kohler is from Yakima. He's an hour away, so all of his stuff will be here.
That's the guy that's building chassis, right?
He's
Yeah.
building the chassis, yes.
Yep.
A&S.
Yeah.
KNS.
I think we're going to have him come on too, Todd, sometime.
Right. I heard you guys talking about him in the first episode. But most of the stuff is out of Bob's Motorsports in Vegas.
Sure.
A lot. So whether it's Lightning or
Bullseye.
there's probably equal number of each. I have an LT3. There's a contingent of LT3s in the mail somewhere for some other guys. But when we all said and done, there's probably going to be 5 of each. A smattering of everything.
Tell me about your tire compounds. What do you guys recommend if somebody wants to visit your track? What tires to start out with for compound wise?
Well, when in the summer when we're having our big race and stuff, everything is pretty much. We used to run L30s and C5s in '96.
Mm-hmm.
The track takes so much heat during the day that even after the sun goes down, it retains it. And so if you try to run anything softer, it'll work for a while, but you'll end up overheating it, and then it'll grain up, and then you're sliding all over the place.
Yeah.
So, which is not what you want to do.
And also to be fair, the asphalt is old and aged as it is, so it's kind of also a relearning process. I'm sure by the middle of this summer we'll have a really good idea.
And
Are you guys
go
planning to resurface it then at all? Sometime in the future?
We looked into it. We got a bid on it. It's going to have to be sometime in the future is the best way to put that.
Yeah.
It's not a cheap process. And
No,
I
it's
don't
not.
imagine it's going to go down. So we'll see how that works out.
Sure.
Yeah, and in all fairness, too, tires have changed a lot since 2009.
All the
More and more
hosts.
guys, a lot different hosts and the compounds. The 405s and 410s now, seem to be more popular than the C4s and 5s. There's still guys that like those tires, of course, but there's a lot of different options, and I know BRP is doing everything they can to get all the tires together and get them out to everybody. And I know that Lansing's with that being that same type of track, it's kind of the same way. You can't run something real soft or you're going to end up graining it. But
Right.
You probably could for like qualifying or something like that, but then the guys that run the show say, oh well, guess what, now you're gonna start the main on the tires you qualified on. So there goes that strategy.
Right.
Dylan Lambert.
Oh, that's my son.
That's your son? He said there's
He won the practice race.
Prior to this quarter scale club, we had 50 drivers show up for a 10 scale single class club race at the QSR Northwest track.
Yeah,
So,
that would be the 10 scale slashes.
Yeah.
Yep.
It grew really fast too. That's kind of what led us into this. Maybe we should have saw the growth coming, but
It says here, do you run on the high side or do you run low on the track?
most of the time you stay below the midline. You do come above it. You have to, especially running the bigger spacers, because of the speed you carry out of the corner or the acceleration out of the corner. You will go above it, but you're diving right back to the apex.
Sure.
Yeah.
Here's
And
my favorite. Here's my favorite color coming up.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, Sean Bigland.
Sean Bigland.
Can't miss that truck.
That
He's a
thing
re-
is bright.
yeah, he's a returning guy. He raced with us back in the day too.
Yep. Yep. 15.
Yeah, Jade Williams,
That's Jay.
another one of our guys. Yep.
He raced all the way back to parking lots.
Yeah. Yeah, he'd be one of the OGs.
The OG guys, yeah.
Good deal.
Let's
And
see here.
probably beyond that to slot cars.
This is a pretty truck.
Yeah, there's Greg Wolf's right there.
That's
He's the third guy of the three amigos that run this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
That's a pretty truck. He did a nice job.
Yeah, he did.
So that truck there, we painted that at Jade Williams' house. We did his truck first because he runs out of my shop, me and Greg and my son Dylan. And I came up with that paint scheme, and then when it was time to do my truck, I was going to do similar scheme but change the colors, and I was like, yeah, I'm just going to paint one color.
What color is your truck?
I have the blue 51.
You had the blue one.
Yeah, I was
15.
going to ask you, Mike, if you got any pictures of these two guys.
Yeah, you know, I just took whatever was off Facebook and
Oh, I thought I tried to send him some, but maybe they didn't come through. Oh, there's Chris Carpenter. That's one of our guys.
that's a really neat design.
Yeah, he did that.
Yeah, can't miss that one out there.
No.
All of his 10 scale stuff is the same way.
Cool.
He's a big fan of the green and black.
And then this is my favorite, I think, down here as far as picture. That's kind of a
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
there you go.
yeah.
That's a good picture.
And see, that's a 10 scale race. I can tell because of the trailer that's Darren. So that would have been maybe the first or second year when we raced, and that would have been pretty early in the day. Well,
Wow,
not
it
early,
is
it's
kind
the
of
lights-
egg-shaped track, ain't it? It's really,
Yeah,
Yeah.
really
Yeah, it looks like a
wide.
fun track. That I can definitely see my trailer sitting there for
yeah.
sure.
Across the highway there, Todd.
Yeah, probably.
And,
then
then
you can't really see off to the left. There's a big dirt racing track, a 10 scale dirt track,
Off road.
off road,
Off-road.
not on road, off road. They're actually having a regional race this weekend. So, but they're expecting a big crowd.
and then of course your Northwest RC Speedway, Pasco, Washington. That's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
home track. So very interesting, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we try to update our Facebook page quite often. So I'm one of the guys that posts a lot of stuff on there, and I try to put, videos of trucks running, lots of pictures and things. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had sent you a picture of maybe it didn't show up, but I had sent you a picture. Hey, there's Roy
Yeah.
of our tech deal that we were working on that last week or
Well,
at
you
the
sent
practice race.
something got sent through my email on YouTube channel, but I could never get it to load.
Uh-huh.
Well, there's a
So-
picture. There's a picture of our scale setup that we use. We use a four scale pad scale,
Mhm.
and somebody had asked me why 4 scales, and because at a big QSAC race they just weigh your total weight and that's that. And I said, well, we do things a little bit different here. We're trying to do the full transparency thing. So if you notice, if you get on our page, you'll see these pictures, and in the pictures you'll see him, who's our tech director, with a notebook next to the scale, and he's recording all the weights, the left side weights, total weight, corner weights. And the reason that we do that is because we're trying to race under full transparency here, meaning anybody can walk up and look at that book at any time and say, scenario is, oh, that guy's whooping everybody, he must be cheating. Well, start out with the scale book, look at his numbers, look at your numbers. If they're similar, then he's probably just out driving you.
Right.
If they're way different, then you probably have something to learn.
You might have some
Right.
work to do.
Yeah, and the reason that we do that is because a lot of the guys here that race come from big car background.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know anything about big car background, there's no sharing.
Right.
Everybody's way is the best way. Everybody else is an idiot. And this group doesn't talk to that group because they run Toyotas, they run Fords.
Yeah.
And then what happens is you get all these tribes at the track,
Mhm.
and then it goes downhill real fast. So
Yeah.
our goal with this time around is everybody's helping everybody.
Right.
We want races decided by racecraft and driving your car, not secret squirrel stuff.
Mhm.
What kind of scales you guys use? You use just regular postal scales, or you actually got the professional setup like Todd
So
Holloway has?
we have another guy that is part of our group, sort of, that used to be part. He actually used to score for us back in the day, and he's pretty good with the little Android computers, and they're actually load cells. And he wrote a program and
Wow.
stuff, and we've been working on it. We've been working on the scale system itself. It has its foibles and its little bugs, but we're working through it. And he's just that's just the stuff he likes to do. It's we're both by trade. We're both design mechanical equipment and machines. So we just kind of have been messing with it and working our way through. We have a pad set up now instead of a table. Well, we still have the table. The table will probably never leave for as far as racing goes, but we're working on some pads like the kind of like they used to have. They're not aluminum. He's 3D printing everything because that's his new hobby. So, and
That's
it's
awesome.
just we've
But
been
we do have a set of postal scales as a fallback.
yeah we have
Right.
postal
And then you
scales.
just plug the numbers into the little
Yeah, right.
whatever the app is, and it spits everything out for you.
Right.
You were talking about scales, Todd. Was there something in our CUSAC rule book that says you can only have so many percentage left side?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they used to have that in there, and I think it's still in there.
Is
It
it still in
is
there?
still there.
Yeah, it's just something that hasn't been. I don't want to say enforced, but it hasn't been really checked that much. I
Right.
think the last time we checked that, it's been a while, but the big thing was people said you couldn't get that much offset in the weight. You couldn't get that much on these cars.
You'd
We
have to
proved
have
them.
quite a bit.
We proved them wrong somewhere, but I think it was because we had our scales plugged in backwards or something. We had it all messed up, and everyone went nuts. And I think we did that, and it was Cusac's fault. When we plugged them in, we had them backwards or something. I can't remember, but it's been a while since that's been checked. It really
Mhm.
has. When he started talking about that, I thought, that's still in there. But
Yeah, I
Oh,
thought
it's
there
still there.
was. Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
there was
Yeah,
something.
and like I said, we're not using it as a tool to try to
Right,
get
right.
everybody. We're
Yeah,
using it more as
yeah,
a tool to log
exactly.
information so that it could be shared with everybody. Because
Right,
you guys have been in this long enough to know the worst thing that happens is you get somebody out there and their car's junk and it
yeah.
can't handle, and then they get discouraged. They're ready to sell it or throw it and quit, or they're in the way, so to speak. And so
And it's not,
it just makes a better show if
yeah.
everybody gets up to speed.
And it's
Mhm.
not necessarily a new RC racer thing. You could have a guy that
Yep.
has won everything in 10 scale and come to quarter scale, and most likely he's going to struggle a little bit, and they will get discouraged really quick. I've seen it. I don't know how many times, and those guys will quit and sell out. So what you're doing is great. I think that's one of the things that quarter scale is a little bit different from 10 scale, even, is the quarter scale guys are willing to help and willing to share and that kind of stuff. You see a lot of that. I feel, I don't want to put down any 10 scale guys, of course, but it just seems like quarter scale guys are, and maybe it's because there's less of us. I don't know, but there is some
We all know each other
right,
somehow,
right,
some way.
right.
Let's see, Brian. This track is all about momentum and corner speeds. Up high on entry and dive to the bottom through the corner for best laps.
Yeah, there's definitely a fast line, and we've been trying to talk to people because in our practice race a couple weeks back, by the time we got to the main, we only had 6 trucks left. But I've been trying to talk to people about, when you go out there, especially the new guys, right? When you go out there and in a perfect world, we get 10 trucks in A main, you don't get to run Q laps anymore. It's
Yeah.
going to get crowded, and you have to focus on being stable and
Right,
handling and being able to move around the track. It's
right.
not about Q laps anymore.
So, what is your fastest time out there versus your average time?
So at the practice race, it ended up with 3. So we started 6. We quickly lost 3. We had 3 that ran for the majority of the race, and all 3 of us was my son, Brandon Auckland, and myself, and we all got in the 6.2s. which is the fastest that we've ran so far since we've been doing this again.
Fastest thing,
Mm.
yep.
And that was, we ran 150 lap main, so we stopped twice for fuel.
Mm.
And so the tires had a good chance to get a good amount of heat in them, and it was cold that night too.
Yeah, it was
Sure.
probably
So
40
I
degrees.
suspect that once everybody shows up and we get some rubber on the track and warmer temperatures, I mean, I would have to say we're going to be threatening 6.0s and maybe dipping in the 5s.
Yeah, that's
What
that's
truck
moving
buddies
for
do
that
you
track.
guys? What track
Yeah.
bodies do you guys like at Bush River Track?
Well, most of us have WCM truck bodies, and that was just because that's what Bob was selling out of Boulder, and so that's what we got. But you saw there was a Mike Clark body, and I understand that there's some other guys that have ordered Mike Clark bodies that are waiting on them.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna have a mix.
We haven't seen one on the track yet.
Yeah, we haven't seen one on the track yet.
Yep. Brian Howard, it's still there. You know Brian Howard, guys, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
He's a little late on the news there. He's talking about the weight bias.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 Neither one has been proven superior in the track yet, though we are sure to find out the next few weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's theories.
There's
you know.
always a theory.
Yeah, there's always a theory.
This truck will outperform that truck body, but that
Yeah.
truck body's ugly.
I hear that in the
Yeah.
stock car class too.
You know how that
Yeah.
goes, right?
Same
Ford
old
guy,
stuff.
Chevy guy.
Yep, exactly. Does Bob have any more truck bodies in stock?
Yeah, does he?
I don't think he does right now.
Okay.
Last I heard he
talked
was
to him,
last I heard he was waiting on the WSM guy, and as everybody knows, I guess that's a whole nother thing. So
yeah. So I was just talking to Bob the other day because I sent him some vinyl and I had made some sides for his new Lightning Sprint car that he's got, and was talking to him. I forgot to ask him about the truck bodies, what he had.
Mhm.
But yeah, hopefully Mike gets everything back up and running. And I knew he was out of boxes not too long ago, and I thought he got him in and started sending stuff out. So hopefully, Mike Clark's been a big supporter of Quarter Scale.
yeah,
And the Dirt Nationals and our regular Asphalt Nationals, and
Right.
he does make a nice truck body. So hopefully, you'll see him start getting that stuff sent out to the guys that need it, and we'll go from there.
it's probably just one of those things where coming off the winter time, everybody's getting jazzed up, so orders are flying around, and it's probably not easy to keep up with everything.
Right.
K&S Hobbies is on. That's the guy that's building the chassis, right?
Yep, Chris Kohler.
That's Chris Kohler.
Roy says, tell us about breaking for dinner.
Yeah, that's another. Yeah, that's funny.
See, Roy's
Roy's
from
coming up
originally
here.
out there, right?
Roy's coming up here for our race in July. But that's another thing we try to do. So we try to model our program after the Saturday night show. Meaning, if you show up to our track and plop your lawn chair down, and this happened, by the way, during their practice race, I walked over to the fan zone section, we call it, in the West Turn, and talked to a few people. Hey, what do you think? And I did have one guy tell me, he goes, man, I thought I was at the big race. And I was like, well, that's what we're shooting for. So, our format, trophy dashes, heat race, and main events. But what we do is after the heat races, we shut everything down and it's dinner break. So everybody brings something, fire up your grills. This past time we QSR bought hamburgers for everybody. So we cook up some burgers, make it like a social community type of thing. And then after we eat, then all right, let's do the main event.
Yep.
So
What time do you
that's what
guys
dinner
usually
break
start?
is.
Do you start in the evening then? At what time do you
Yeah,
guys
6
usually-
o'clock.
And then so
And
do
then
you
what
don't
time are
have
we done?
you don't have anybody talking about noise or anything like that, do you? That
We're way out in the middle of the farms. Like I said, the closest person is the guy that owns the land that the track's on, and the next closest person is literally probably a mile and a half away.
Yeah.
So noise is not a problem.
Yeah.
There's actually a rocketry club that has a launch site that's probably the closest thing to us.
oh wow. Wow.
Yeah, so we try to start at 6, and being that we're only running one class this year, it's not. I could probably never see us. Man, I couldn't see us going I don't even think we'd make it till 10 o'clock, honestly.
We'd a
time did
lot
we
of things
get
that
done,
go
Todd, that
crazy,
one?
or we'd have a lot of trucks to
Yeah.
get to 10.
Yeah.
What time did we get done, Todd, that one year when the Nationals out here?
It's done or
Well, it
finished.
was about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, it was the least. Yeah, it
And
was the least.
yeah, Dave Perello says I have 2 WCMs. He must be talking about the bodies.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
We run my truck bodies in Texas, but I want to try other bodies.
Mm-hmm. Brinkley feed us.
Yeah.
So that's the joke from the practice race. We were sitting there, and I was the one flipping patties, and then it became Brinkley's Burgers, as everybody's standing around waiting for me to get done flipping hamburgers. So
And it was good to have those burgers because it was cold that night.
yeah, it ended up being pretty cold by the end.
And this, you must know these guys here. This guy here.
Oh, that's that Jack Dyer. He is our official track announcer. Cool
Really?
story. Cool story. He used to announce at the big tracks.
Really?
Yeah, and the big track he used to announce at, I think, as far as I know, it closed down.
Close.
And he loves doing it, so he's like, "Yeah, I'll come announce for you guys."
Yep.
So that
That's
also
cool.
adds to the feel of being at the big track because people recognize his voice.
Perfect.
That's cool. Well, guys, look like you guys are doing a pretty good job out there. This is your first year back, then? Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
I think I understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
We just
They've
need
had
to
a
get
lot of
all the
great
trucks to
ideas.
show up. We need to get everybody to show up. You know, it's kind of like herding cats right now.
Yeah.
So we just need to get everybody to show up, and yeah, I think it's going to be good.
Todd, you got anything in your head?
I think they're doing an outstanding job. I mean, there's a lot of little
Thanks.
things that they're trying to do to promote it. One of the things they came up with, and it gave me an idea for our local club, was the windshield banners. I've always printed windshield banners for
Oh, yeah.
QSAC
Yeah, appreciate
for all
that,
the
Todd.
different for all the different classes. We have a windshield banner. Well, they didn't want just an ordinary straight windshield banner. They wanted one that was curved, that would fit the radius of the body, and they wanted their logo on there for their club. And it was an awesome idea. And we had a guy in our club saying the same thing, that we needed to do that. And so I want to thank you guys for pushing me to go ahead and get those done, because I think it's going to be, especially when you travel, because you're going to see that on the car and know where those guys are from. So my hat's off to you guys. You're doing a hell of a job. And I promise that we will get out there and run with you guys. So I'm waiting to hear back from Roy and those guys after they get back, how much fun they've had. And we'll get out there one of these days.
Was there any other tracks nearby you guys that raced at one time that closed down, or?
So when we
Wasn't there
first started, there was a guy in Idaho, in Boise
Idaho?
area.
I think that's
Kinley.
who I was talking to. A guy in Idaho now.
Yeah, Mike Kinley. He used
Yes,
to have the
yes, that's who
yeah.
he.
And he had a parking lot track down there, and then so we started with him before we even ever did parking lots. We actually drove down and raced with him. That's when we first started getting into it, and then as things developed, we ended up, I think one of the years we even had like a 2-track series, a Northwest series. We'd go back and forth between Boise and where we're at.
Right.
Is he still around at all, or?
Last I knew, I think he moved up to the mountains somewhere, to be honest.
I think he's in Utah somewhere.
I think, and I even heard a story that he was doing that crazy desert salt flat sail racing stuff.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Sail cars, whatever they call those things.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
but I see he comments every now and then on our posts. So yeah,
awesome.
maybe he'll get the itch again.
KNS Hobbies, where is he located at?
He's about an hour west of us in Yakima.
Mm-hmm. And has that car ever showed up on your track yet, as far as
Yeah,
testing?
he hasn't made it yet. He was at the race himself. He brought him and his son, and they hung out and helped and did that kind of thing. But no car yet.
He's getting closer. Getting
He's
closer
getting
every day.
closer.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was very cool of him, by the way. I have to give him props on that. So he came down to our practice race and he stayed until the end. And when I say stay till the end, he stayed until the last people loaded up to leave. And he didn't have anything to race. He just came down to help out.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. And what's that?
Looked like
Oh,
it
that's-
maybe
that-
where you
that's
used to
where-
race.
That's where they raced. He raced in Hermiston. That's where Jack announced was in
Okay.
Hermiston.
Okay.
It's a, what is it? It's like a, it's a small track.
Yeah, it's
a
like
little
a-
bigger than a quarter.
Like a 4/10 or something.
Yeah, like 4/10 or something.
Something like that.
Well, I don't have anything else. Todd, you got anything questions for you guys? If you're on, and give them a chat.
Just
with
make
these
sure
guys.
that you guys reach out to me. Once you guys start having your races and stuff, send me the results. Just send me an email to todd@teamholloway.com. Be glad to get you on here. And
Yep.
been trying to give the race results as we get them. I know we're only on once a month, so maybe a points rundown or something like
Yeah.
that.
Right.
You know, we used to back. You guys remember the old days when we had the actual paper that came in the mail. You know, the
Yep.
newsletter.
Yeah, I remember that.
I couldn't wait to get that newsletter.
Yep.
You know, but it takes tracks to give us information or whoever's
Yep.
doing that stuff, and we can actually get it on, you know, whether it's Facebook or wherever, you know, get it on
Right.
there. But the more people that see that, the better off we are, and we'll use social media for what it should be used for, and I think that'll help promote all of us, no matter if you're Mars, AQSA, you guys run out there, if it's QSAC or what. Let's use it
Right.
for what it's intended for, and I think that we'll all benefit.
Oh, for
I
sure.
want to thank you guys for coming on. Guys, got any last words for us as we close out our program?
No, I just can't wait to see you guys show up and take on the
experience.
The experience.
The tricky triangle. There you
Yeah.
go.
We did have a district race years ago that a group from California and Nevada came up for, and I remember their first impressions. They were pretty awestruck from what they
Yeah.
were used to running on, and they
Right.
were like, I remember one guy said, "I don't even think I blinked," and it's just
Well, I
it's-
find it amazing that little corner in 3 and 4 there. I mean, you got
Mhm.
this nice big round corner, and then all of a sudden it just narrows down.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
do you have the most problems at as far as wrecks, crashes, spin out? Is it in 3 and 4 there?
Usually because of even with the best drivers, there's different opinions about how to get into 3. Some guys are lifting early, some guys are driving in hard. So you get like around the apex of 3 is where everything comes together and you get cars to different speeds.
Everybody wants the
And
same
even in
spot.
practice race, I got into somebody. Because I let off a little early and I was back on the gas and he was just picking up the throttle and I smoked him at the apex. So
Yeah.
Hmm.
and
That's
you see the
Lansing.
shape of the track from turn 1. After you exit turn 1 and the shape of the track, you're basically building speed all the way to the west turn.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
You're on it a long ways, it looks like.
And then
Right,
you got to
yeah,
make
once
sure
you
your
get
brakes
back
work.
on.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have an open invitation to come run with us anytime you want to. So,
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
bring
we
those,
have to
you
come
bring
try
those
the-
trucks
the-
down to race on dirt.
yeah.
We'll
Or
get
dirt. Yeah. Either one.
Eldora style racing with a dirt
Yeah.
track.
Well, or you got the mini madhouse.
That's
Right.
right. That's
Yep.
right.
Yeah.
You don't blink there either.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, one of the tracks I'm most intrigued by of looking around, looking at everybody else's stuff, is that one in Virginia.
Oh yeah.
That concrete track. Oh my goodness, that looks so
top
nice.
notch. Top notch
Yeah.
track. Mitch does a heck of a job with that track, and the guys that run there, and it's beautiful.
Mhm.
But speaking of a long
it-
way to go,
Yeah, it'll get your attention. It's fast track. That
Mhm.
and Clover. Clover's the same way. It's
yeah. Now
fast.
I've raced at Clover before.
Right.
In 06, me and Greg Wolf went back to a Eastern District race, and yeah, that was a fun time. That I
Yeah.
liked that track. That was a fun
Yeah.
track.
Right.
Figures.
Right next to the little fishing pond, and Greg always tells the story that at the end of the night, after everything was done and the people are loading up, he said that whole track was covered with frogs.
There you go.
Well, we
Yep,
appreciate you guys coming on. Hopefully we
Mhm.
can see you back this summer again.
Okay.
Maybe this fall to tell us how your season went and fill us in on some different things going on up there. So, guys, last word for you guys before we sign you guys off.
I appreciate you having us on, and
Mhm.
we'll
Anytime.
definitely do it
Sounds
again.
good.
Sounds
Cool.
good.
Well,
We'll get
we'll watch you on Facebook.
Right.
You have a particular name on Facebook that we want to advertise for you guys a little bit?
Uh,
If somebody's
it's just
looking
Q.
for this.
It's just there's a Facebook group. It's QSR Northwest,
Okay.
and that's all the quarter scale stuff.
Yep.
So basically it's this right here then.
That's
Yep.
us.
That's it.
Okay. All righty. Well,
And we'll be sure to send off results as we go to Todd.
very
That
good.
sounds
So
I'm
you
good.
guys can
anxious
get
to,
those put on there.
I'm anxious to
Okay.
see you guys race up there. But hey, guys, thank you for coming on, and we'll
All right.
see you in the future then.
All right.
All right.
Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
appreciate it. Have a good night, guys.
Yep. You guys too.
Well, Todd, that was an interesting interview.
Yes, it
Learned a
was.
lot up there in the Washington area. I do want to give a shout out real quick before we sign off. I was told that Ron Shobe has died. Do you remember
Oh, no
Ron?
kidding. Yes. Yes.
Yes, he passed away. I saw that on Facebook right before I got on, and so I want to pass on my heartfelt,
Yeah.
to the family and stuff. That because I
Take care.
never knew Ron up close. Never got a chance to race with Ron, but I talked to him on the phone.
Right.
Oh gosh, way in the early days, and
Yeah.
so yeah, he passed away, and and that's the sad thing about it is we're all aging out. The guys that I knew, so
Right.
I'm afraid we're going to see a lot more.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah. So shout out to his family and friends and spectators. So anyway, Todd, you got anything to say before we sign off? Let's see.
Nope. We'll try to get another show planned for here in about a month or so. And
Who do you plan on coming on this time? You got any
Well-
ideas?
most likely, I was thinking Brian Hill from out in Texas. I'd like to get him on, and Tim, and then also Chris Kohler, and get him on maybe the following show. Since we had the guys on from Washington this time, maybe
Mhm.
go out towards Texas, get RMR on, and go from there.
Sure.
Then we'll see how that goes, and maybe we'll end up getting someone on from PT Speed Shop, and because we're starting to get that site up and going and getting some parts in stock, and in the process they are getting things stocked and that kind of stuff. And
Let's see here.
we should have some good things coming on that side as well.
So what do you got going on at PT's? Anything new?
Well, the rod ends and everything, the QS components was selling, all of those are on there. Belts, those sorts of things. The rear spur gears, those are being made as we speak. Going back to the original white, I don't know if you'd call it Delron or not, but kind of the same stuff Bob Elliott used to use to make the gears back in the day. That stuff seemed to really hold up well. So I know Joey Covington and Frank Bowling have gotten together and going back to that material. So those are being made and should be in stock soon.
So when's
then
your
there's-
next big race? When's your next big race? Up in Eagles?
we're supposed to race in the Ingalls, not this weekend, but the following weekend
Okay.
will be our first club race.
Okay.
And then
Won't be long because the world, not the worlds, but the up in Wisconsin,
yeah, that's
the
in
first dirt
June.
race.
Yeah, June 25th, I believe that is.
Yeah, I hope everybody can come up to run a dirt race. We're running a 3-track series. Cheese
Yep.
City and myself
City.
and the world. So
Yes. Yeah.
And,
Hopefully, I know that they've been doing a lot of indoor racing there at Cheese City right now. A lot of the guys from McChesney Park go there and run. Kevin from McChesney Park Ginthy, he races indoors there a lot, and I know he's working with the owner, getting all the details together for the Chief City quarter scale race. There'll be other classes there too, running those couple days. So we're glad that they're having us run there. So that'll probably be that's the big race for us that we'll be traveling to would be the Tri-State race June 12th at McChesney Park is our first Tri-State race, unless something would change schedule wise and stuff, because we did find out it's the same weekend as the World, so we'll see how that goes. But I know there's some guys planning on going to the Worlds, so wish everyone the best of luck, no matter where you're going.
There's only so many Saturdays in the summer to fill up, and
that makes it hard.
Sooner or later you're going to fall onto somebody.
Right.
The question is, when do you think you'll have your springs ready at PT Speed Shop?
I know that he was talking to the supplier of the springs today, so those should be here, I would say, within a matter of a couple of weeks, something like that. He'll have the two different sizes. We'll have the 2 3/4 inch big bore springs, and then we'll have the normal bore, I would call them, 3-inch springs that you would use on a lightning spring or a TNT shock, lightning shock, Freddy's shock. So that spring will fit all of those. So I think it'll be a good thing.
Okay.
Yep. It's expensive
endeavor?
to get into. Yeah. Expensive endeavor for him.
Sure.
And so if everyone give him a little grace, because it takes a little while to get things that back up and running. And
Sure.
I think it'll be good for the hobby. And I know that some guys have reached out about carrying some parts and stuff of his in their trailers. And I know I'll have parts in the trailer, for our races. And
did he ever get the front nose wing mounts made?
That's on the list.
Like his top wing mount is?
Yeah. A lot of guys are asking for those, so that is on the list.
Okay.
Because we've proven it that it works. You've seen it at your track.
Oh yeah. Seen it down in Texas too.
Yep. They bend, they don't break, and you can straighten them up and go on down. Yeah, go on down the road. But the front wing mount is in. It's been talked about several different times, and we've got to get that done.
Yeah. Well, it looks like it'd be a simple design.
Everything's simple. Everything's simple until you go to do it.
Points is going to be awesome addition to our industry.
PTs.
Okay. Yeah, we need more people involved.
Yeah.
We need more people involved in parts and getting stuff out. I'm still having trouble getting truck bodies. I might have to go borrow a truck to run the June race down in, we'll run a stock car body. I don't know how I'm going to do this, because me and Don both,
right.
And along with another guy in Lincoln here, we're looking for truck bodies. So we're still struggling with that. I do have a guy going to drive my sprint car at the Dirt Nationals.
Oh, really?
Yes, he
hired gun, huh?
Well, I can't do it myself. I just don't have time. I like to run the truck if I can, if I find time in between running the races during the Nationals. But I talked to, his name is Joel Fritz. He ran mini sprints for years. He races the 10 scale classes out here, and and I watch people race. I don't know about you, but I watch people race, whether it's 10 scales, quarter scales, fifth scales, large scale, whatever. And I kind of want to see how they do. And Joel is very smooth, he never puts himself in a problem in 10 scale racing. Very seldom do I ever see him wreck. And so I thought, he might be a good addition to my team, to put that car hopefully in victory lane, because he's good. I always told him that I have an open door policy when it comes set up. Whatever you do, you change it, but please let me know what you did. So I know what to expect when I get the
Right.
car the following time. So yeah, so Joe Fritz, he's out of Waverly. And who knows, you might be able to, since he raced mini sprints for years, he might be interested in getting a quarter scale car if he likes it so much.
Yep.
So, well, guys, I don't have anything else. I appreciate everybody coming on. I want to thank Brian and Jason for coming on out of Washington on their track. Todd, you have your last word if you can before we sign off.
Just reach out to us if you want to see someone on here, or you know someone that wants to be on, you want to be part of it. Give us a holler. Either holler at Mike or get with me, and we'll make it happen.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in on episode 2. We'll be back next month. Todd will have a new guest coming on, and we'll continue to make quarter scale great here in the United States. So
Sounds good.
live from Outlaw Raceway Park, we are signing off.